Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the least viewed whiskey review channel on YouTube. If you're going to be the best at something, try and be the best at or the worst at it, I guess. I don't know. This is the Mad Mix cheap whiskey review number 52, Speyburn 10. Got this down at the liquor superstore down by the Market Basket a couple of towns over. I have reviewed a couple of Speyburns before. They were both the Musty Dusties from a more local liquor store that kept them way up high on the shelf. They did have, I believe they had this, what is it, Brandon Oranta or Orac or something like that. They did have that at this liquor store with this, but it has a completely new packaging that looked, it had a similar design on the, on the label, but it was in the square box packaging. So I'm pretty confident that these were both much older bottles of Speyburn. Of course, neither one of those had an age statement to them. This one, as you can see, starts to get into their age statement. I would imagine 10 years is their least, age stated whiskey. This one is just hand selected American oak cask, so probably ex-bourbon cask, aged for 10 years. Not a bad price on this one. Those were both below $30 if I remember correctly. I think this one was like 28 and that one was like a little bit cheaper, or vice versa. I can't really remember. But they weren't expensive bottles. I believe this one was about $33, something like that. So still not a bad price, especially for an age-stated 10-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey. So not a bad price on it. Pretty packaging. Whatever they've done with the packaging looks a whole lot better than the old cans do. Unfortunately, it must be newer because the cork did not break off on this one. It broke off on both of those ones, which makes me think they were very old bottles just sitting around for years. With that being said, you can see the color. This does not give you, I don't believe it says anything about non-age stated or non-chill filtered. I don't particularly care about either one way or the other. I know there's a big argument about it, but there have been studies that said that people can't really taste the difference between them, except in certain types of whiskey. So, I mean, that's not the biggest deal to me. I would think that that's probably artificially colored. 10 years in a bourbon barrel, used bourbon barrel, does not give you a whole lot of color like that. So they're probably using that, caramel 155 or whatever the hell the name of it is. Well, with that being said, let's get the big fat snout right up in the 10-year. Here's malt. This little glass kind of sucks. I've really got to get a bigger glass. I'm not getting anywhere near the amount of nose off of this thing that I'd like to. But yeah, I mean, you're getting malt, you're getting hints of vanilla, maybe even a hint of caramel on it. I'm not sure. Not a whole lot of fruit. If there's any kind of fruit, it's real light presence of it. Yeah, I mean, maybe you're getting a hint of some kind of fruit. Not a lot. I'm getting mostly malt, mostly sweetness. Maybe a hint of caramel or toffee, but just a hint. It's not overpowering. But yeah, it's a very pleasant nose. Nothing wrong with it. For what I can get out of this little teeny tiny glass, it's not bad at all. I've really got to get another case of Glen cans. But I don't have it right now, so fuck it. And this bottle will be going shortly, so might as well get a review of it done. But yeah, the nose is fine. Tastes like, it smells just like a standard 10-year single malt that hasn't been finished or has no sherry cask influence. Very pleasant, but not offensive. You're not getting any ethanol on the nose or anything like that. So, that being said, drink it down. Interesting. It's got an interesting character to it. Yeah, I'm getting mostly the same on the palate, malt, sweetness. It's got an odd middle palate. I'm not sure I'm loving the middle palate on this thing. To be honest with you, it tastes like they got wide cuts on this. You know what I mean? Like I'm getting hints of something I'm not really loving, but I'm not getting that on the nose. Let me, yeah, the nose is pretty much the same, unoffensive. Let me get another sip and see if I'm See if I'm getting this right. Yeah, I mean it's fine. It's got the malt up front, sweetness. Then it's almost got like a sour apple or something like that. You know what I mean? Or some kind of unripe fruit. You know what I mean? Something that's got a little bit more sourness than sweetness to it. It's not bad per se, but it's definitely not my favorite single malt scotch. I'm not gonna need a lot of time with this one, guys. I gotta put the glass down. I mean, is it horrible? No. Is it great? No. It's decent. I mean, if it's got one thing going for it, it's its price. If you're gonna find this in the low 30s and you like single malt, but even at that, I remember probably liking those a little bit better than I do this one, even though this gets the age statement. I don't know. There's something on the palate that I'm not really liking. You know what I mean? There's like a slight sourness to it across the middle of the palate. At the end, you're just getting the bourbon barrel spice up front. You're getting a malt, a sweetness, maybe a hint of, like I said, some kind of tart fruit. And maybe that's the way that sourness. It's almost like a tart, soury fruit in the middle palate. Not my favorite palate. I won't say that. You know, it's not horrible, but I can think of dozens of other scotches I would drink before I drink this again. With that being said, this is the Mad Mix Cheap Whiskey Review, number 52. Speyburn 10-year. I'll give it like an 8. You know, maybe an 8.1, something like that. It's okay. Like I said, the one thing it's got going for is its price. It gives you an age statement. It's not my favorite one, though. You know what I mean? It's got this odd middle palate, and I'm not really digging it. I didn't mind the smell so much. The front palate and the back palate are what you'd expect. But in the middle, there was something else in it. It kind of lingers in your mouth. It kind of, if you've ever put, like had something sour and it seems like it's sucking the saliva from your cheeks from the inside, it gives you that kind of pucker feeling. That's what this is giving to me, and I'm not really crazy about it. You know what I mean? It's not awful, but it's just kind of got this mildly unpleasant middle palate. So, I mean, it's all right. Its price point is fine. It's drinkable. I'll smash the rest of the bottle. I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to dump it in the drain or anything. But would I buy it again? Probably not. But then again, like I tell you guys all the time, I don't hardly ever buy any whiskey twice. Very few. You know what I mean? Something like a Glenmorangie I'll go back to. Something like an Eagle Rare, I'll always keep an unopened bottle around just in case my son or a friend comes over who likes bourbon. Oban, Bunnahabhain. You know, there are some whiskeys that I'll go back to. Balvenie. I really love the Balvenie 12. I think that's a great, and there are other whiskeys I would buy more often if they weren't so expensive, like Glenglassaugh or, what's the other one? Glendella. You know what I mean? There are some, but those are expensive. You're talking $80. A lot of these are like $80 bottles of whiskey unless you can get them on sale. So I don't buy them that often, but I would definitely go back to them. This is one of them ones I'd probably never buy again. It's fine. It's okay. It's price point, like I said, a $33 10-year-old. You're not going to find too many of them. But I'm not crazy about it. I probably wouldn't recommend it to anybody, to be honest with you. But if you see it and you want to try it, I mean, it's not the worst thing I ever tasted. And like I said, its price point is fine. It's just not my jam, that's for sure. So with that being said, love yourself. Always love and respect yourself. Just do it. Love and respect your family and friends. Love cheap whiskey. I'm not loving this cheap whiskey, though. There are other things I would rather buy in this price range, for sure. There are blended scotches and blended malts that are just about in this price range. You know what I mean? That I would buy way before I buy this again. That's for sure. So, with that being said, take care, people. I'll see you on the next one. Don't know what it's going to be, but we'll find out soon enough. Later. Have a good night.